There you go. So we should see us somewhere. And then as soon as we want to, we can go. Oh, well, I suppose one crucial point would be if anyone's connection drops out, I'm designating Scott. If Scott drops out, it's Jury. If Jury drops out, it's Scott. And you just read until that person comes back. That has happened. I'm certain it won't happen today.
What if Ibbott goes out and then what?
I designate Scott. And if you all go out, I'll come back and just read till you show back up.
Perfect.
All right, I have now done everything I can to present disaster, and I am going away. So we're live. Jury, you're recording as well?
Yes, we are recording.
I am recording. YouTube is recording. We will give a hot moment of silence. Yeah. Is it on Diamond Club? I don't have those superpowers.
Do you want me to do a backup recording? Is that helpful at all or no?
I say the more backup recordings, the merrier. I mean, if this backed up everywhere, then it couldn't possibly not work.
That's the theory, right?
I mean, right?
Yeah.
All right, so just let me know when you're squared away there, and then...
One second here.
DiamondClub.tv is not.
Okay. Yeah, I'm solid.
All right. So
yeah, we do need to get it up on DiamondClub.tv real quick. If there's anybody who has DiamondClub.tv admin stuff, then let's do that.
Seb Gons is working on it.
Hold on, wait. I just need the link for this. Can you? Oh, wait. Hold on. I think it's right here.
This NSFW that's on is old.
When you're squared away there, and then... Oh, good guy.
Jury looks 10.
What's that?
Spiky. Weird.
Oh, that old NSFW that's up?
Yeah. Episode 18. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's old. Has a smell about it.
Yeah, for Nara.
Seb Gons.
We're good.
All right. Okay. I am disappearing to return if there's a crisis, but mostly disappearing. Jury will start. He'll roll the music. Scott will go. And then we'll be off to the races.
All righty.
All right. Bye. Good luck.
All right, boys. You ready to roll?
Yes.
Yes. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Here we go. Hi, I'm Justin Robert Young, patron of... do it again. Here we go. Hi, I'm Justin Robert Young, patron of the Daily Tech News Show. Along with 4,260 other patrons, I gave Tom permission to go on vacation this week. He didn't mention it was Apple Week, so all of the Daily Tech News shows will be bringing you the best of the guest hosts that money can buy, including but not limited to Patrick Beja, Veronica Belmont, Jonathan Strickland, and a couple of pants-wearing frogs, the morningest streamers that ever did stream. Let's begin the show, shall we? Oh, this is going great. You want to know what? We're going to go ahead and start that one more time.
All right.
Kidding. This is all going to hell.
It's all right. It's the three of us.
One more time. Hi, I'm Justin Robert Young, patron of the Daily Tech News Show. Along with 4,260 other patrons, I gave Tom permission to go on vacation this week. You know, he didn't mention it was Apple Week, so we had to assemble an all-star team for Daily Tech News Show. Yes, that includes Patrick Beja, Veronica Belmont, Jonathan Strickland, and a couple of guys who are up to no good, started making trouble in your neighborhood every morning stream. Let's go ahead and introduce them to you. The show begins now.
This is the Daily Tech News Show for Monday, September 8th, 2014. I'm Scott Johnson. With me today is Brian Ibbott, my co-host on the morning stream.
God, that sounds so familiar. And joining us today, because we needed some adult supervision, co-host of Night Attack and Weird Things and veteran Daily Tech News Show guest host, the hirsute Justin Robert Young. Hello, Justin.
You know you are in trouble when I am called for adult supervision. Taking a terrible turn for the worse.
Dude, I just have to say real quick, that suit coat really suits you, for lack of a better term. And I know you've been wearing it for all this guest hosting business, but that is freaking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I like to call it my 1970s TV detective coat.
Nice.
Knocking on doors of frightened widows.
You do have kind of a Serpico thing going on with that beard.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'll tell you what, I do my best for you, the Daily Tech News Show guest hosts and listeners. But we're not here to banter. We're here to give headlines. Give headlines didn't come off the way I wanted to. TechCrunch reports that Twitter has announced its first commerce product, the Buy button. According to a Twitter blog post, the rectangular blue button with the words Buy Now will be visible to a small number of U.S. users. Clicking on the button will allow those users to make purchases within the tweet. Payment and shipping information will be stored by Twitter for future purposes. The test will begin on mobile and eventually move to desktop, and we'll be chewing on this one just a little bit more in our discussion section.
Way more. According to Ars Technica, there is a fire sale of sorts on the Amazon Fire Phone. The device, which is still exclusive to AT&T, now costs 99 cents for a 2-year contract. A contract-free phone is now available for $200 cheaper, dropping from $649.99 to $449.99. Amazon has not released sales numbers for the Fire, but reviews have not been very kind. A recent study tracking mobile ad impressions for the new phone implies that sales have been lackluster for sure.
This is an almost exact move that they made with the Facebook phone, which was also a dud.
Also, just think of it this way. You can get a song for the same price as an Amazon Fire phone.
Which will you choose? The Verge reports that Apple has now added another layer of iCloud security. As first spotted by Mac Rumors, Apple has already begun sending out alert emails when iCloud accounts are accessed from a traditional web browser. I've actually gotten a couple of these, and I was wondering about this. The alerts are being sent out even if the specific browser has been used previously to access iCloud. According to The Verge, since iCloud is typically used to link apps, browser logins are now being treated as unusual enough to trigger an alert.
And this is something that's very, very important as they lead into their announcement tomorrow, which may be all about why you should trust Apple more with your personal data. We'll talk about that in a second. The Verge has reported that Reddit has shut down the subreddit tied to the nude photos in the Celebgate attack. In a statement published on its official blog, a representative from the company said, quote, "We deplore the theft of these images and we do not condone their widespread distribution. Pressure to shut down the subreddit intensified once it was discovered that Olympic gymnast Michaela Maroney and actress Liz Lee were taken while they were underage." The statement also came with one of the most bug-nutty, crazy statements I have ever read from a tech company, where Reddit compared themselves to a government and not a private company.
Yeah, the whole thing gave me the willies. Ars Technica also reporting that DVR manufacturer TiVo, boop, boop, you know the one, has announced that the company announced that its next DVR, the TiVo Mega, it's called, scheduled to be released in early 2015. The Mega is a rack mount DVR with 6 tuners and 24 terabytes of storage, which works out to be about 26,000 hours of recorded content. That's all in standard definition, I should mention, or 4,000 hours of HD content. That's 3 years of television, people. The device will cost approximately $5,000. A lot of thousands in this, I've noticed. That's 3 years of TV for only 21 cents a day, if you want to look at it that way.
What a bargain.
Yeah, so it will hold all of the episodes of Real Housewives of ... Perfect.
Yep.
The joys of autoplay. Facebook announced today that it now serves 1 billion video plays per day, with 2/3 of those views from mobile devices. Hey, did I mention that new autoplaying feature that's on by default? The company also says it will soon be rolling out a YouTube-like view counter for public video and a metrics dashboard for publishers who can't wait to roll around Scrooge McDuck style in all that glorious autoplay-generated revenue.
You cannot easily, I just want to mention this, you cannot easily share videos you find on Facebook. So they're autoplaying, you think they're funny, you think they're unique, and if I'm on mobile and I go to share that thing, there is no discernible way for me to get that link outside of Facebook. I can share it in Facebook,
Really?
not
But you
outside.
can
So
click it and
screw
go
that.
into its host site. Wow.
Annoys
I
me.
actually kind of enjoy the autoplay. I feel like it's a different level of content where I've enjoyed the first 5 seconds of BuzzFeed silent videos more so than I would ever have clicked on those videos.
The video I'm enjoying the most is this side shot of Abraham Lincoln giving the address to the people, but actually I just realized it was Justin Robert Young with a side view of his beard.
It's a Gettysburg Address right here, happening right here. Facebook also announced today that it now has 100 million monthly active users in Africa. That means half of Africa's internet users are visiting the social media network each month. 80% of those active users are getting their Facebook fix on mobile devices. Facebook has spent a ton of time and effort getting their site to work well with weak signals and older phones found in Africa. Like the Fire Phone, the Amazon Fire Phone.
Ah, yes, friends, the Mists are rising, the Ocean Royals, we are here! Apple Announcement Eve! Are the stories that pop up on the Devil's Night of Tech Rumors more credible? Or are we so excited we'll believe any lie this close to due date? You decide. Here they are. Perpetually unfulfilled iFeature NFC appears to actually be happening. BankInnovation.net reports that the iPhone will utilize tokenization technology to facilitate payments, and they have a patent that was filed long ago to prove it. And 9to5Mac chimes in that Apple and Disney retail locations are being upgraded to the latest iBeacon and NFC tech in anticipation of the phone's arrival. Apparently, it's going to be a combination of both of those technologies that will allow the secure transfer of money from your bank via your phone to the merchant. 9to5Mac also posts screenshots of some of the native apps for the new 5.5-inch iPhone, which demonstrates a new landscape mode that boasts an iPad-esque two-pane interface. This was actually done by taking the standard apps and then stretching them out to the 5.5 the 5.5 space, along with the pixels that have been pixel density that's been reported. So apparently we're going to have a whole new look at what these apps are when you turn them sideways on at least the larger version of the phone, not the 4.7 version. Of course, all of these things are fake until somebody says they're not.
Right, exactly. It's all vapor.
And now some news from you. Another Jay Martin sends us an Ars Technica report that Comcast has begun using its 3.5 million U.S. Wi-Fi hotspots to serve ads for Comcast products, regardless of whether you're using whether the website being viewed wants those ads or even knows those ads exist. Works like this. When a Wi-Fi user requests to view a page, Comcast injects its JavaScript into the packets being returned by the real server. In addition to obvious security concerns, Comcast may also have injected itself back into the net neutrality debate, as U.S. regulators ponder whether Comcast and other ISPs should be required to deliver broadband without altering or initiating data packets. According to the company, Comcast home customers are not affected, yet.
They will be soon. I think we've lost Scott, so why don't you take this next one?
And Captain Kipper passes along a BBC report that Intel has launched a new generation of processors featuring 14-nanometer transistors, the smallest ever to appear in a commercial product. The new Broadwell Core M chip is 50% smaller and 30% thinner than the last generation. According to Intel, manufacturers should now be able to produce, quote, razor-thin, fanless tablets that are about 0.35 inches thick.
Wow.
And those are the headlines.
Excellent. Well, before we get to our discussion, did you know the Daily Tech News Show t-shirt is available in white, black, and ash at slashloot.com in the podcast section? Did you also know you can find fine Morning Stream t-shirts and other fine promotional items at Slashloot? What? You're more of a Night Attack fan? Well, those t-shirts are available at scamstuff.com. So make sure to go check them out.
Yeah, I believe it's nsfw.scamstuff.com. Leave that www bull poop at home. You just
Okay.
nsfw.scamstuff.com, and you're going to find the t-shirts.
There we go. Thank you for that.
Brian, Twitter's got a buy feature. It's
Yeah.
buy now.
Buy now. Sure.
So this is Twitter's first foray into commerce. You give Twitter your billing and shipping info. This happens all the time with Amazon and Apple. All the cool kids are doing it, after all. Facebook hasn't ever really had a big inroad into this kind of trust, consumer trust, where you're going to turn over a credit card information so you can buy stuff easily. Are you any more likely to buy via Twitter than you would have been with Facebook?
I might be, if it's something that. See, here's the thing, though. I mean, is it something that everybody's eventually going to be able to throw in a link to? For example, Amazon, throw in an Amazon link to an album that they're listening to that they really like, or a song, or the latest tech gadget. If they've got that, and if there's a way to get some affiliate money back to the tweeter, that'd be the person, the tweetie. then I'm probably very likely, because I keep a Twitter feed up on my screen all the time. I don't have Facebook up on my screen all the time.
So it's got a decent roster to get this off the ground. The startup partners include Stripe and Gumroad. Stripe, I assume, is what they're going to be using for all of the transactions.
Mm-hmm.
The Fancy and Music Today. It's got traditional retailers like Home Depot and Burberry, and then nonprofits like the Red Foundation, GLAAD, Donors Choose, and musicians such as Brad Paisley, Eminem, and Megadeth.
Great. Sign me up.
Told The Verge, anything with a perishable component, temporal nature, or limited supply is going to thrive on Twitter. Given the speed at which the word can spread across our network, it feels like an opportunity to create new kinds of sales. With the musicians, I immediately thought about concert tickets, because I normally find out that things are coming to my town based on their Twitter presence, based on their social media presence. It would be nice if I didn't have to click through to another website. I could very easily just, especially in those sort of limited quantities, I could buy those tickets immediately. And I think that is a level in which Twitter does have an advantage on Facebook. But here's my question. Any of these services that are designed to share, aren't we always going to be in a precarious position that they're going to want to share our history? They're going to want to share what we're buying, because that's always going to be where they make their bread and butter?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it opens up that ability for them to not only share the stuff that you're purchasing through them, but also maybe the links that you click on that you don't purchase anything from. The buy now buttons where you're like, oh, I'm kind of interested in that, and then they can follow that up with, well, if you don't like Brad Paisley, maybe you'll like Kenny Chesney tickets or something like that.
So here's a question I have. Gosh dang it. Sorry, my back.
You're back, yes.
Here's my question. If these guys put a buy now button on tweets that I get, one of the notes that freaked me out just a little bit was this. Gumroad CEO said this in effect. He said, the interface is supposedly native on the Twitter client, so you might not realize anyone is involved except for Twitter until you get your receipt. To me, that feels a little weird. So let's say I buy now. There's a product now coming to me. Let's say it's a physical good of some sort, and for all I know, it's Walmart, it's Target, it's Best Buy. I don't know who's doing it, but it's coming from somebody. I think consumers are going to want more information than that. I think I'm going to want to know who's sending me this product. I need to know it's a reputable business, or one that I haven't had trouble with before, or one that's young and a small startup I don't know much about, or one that's venerable and old. Does that strike either of you as crazy, or am I onto something with them? This seems like they're hiding too much from the consumer.
No, listen, you're absolutely correct, and it's incumbent upon Twitter to make those decisions on who they're partnering with. Twitter wants this to be seamless. They want you to have the fervor of seeing something and buying it immediately because your friends are talking about it to be all you need to hit that one button to purchase whatever you're going to purchase. And if they do not protect that consumer confidence by only bringing in people that they know will be able to fulfill those orders, then this is going to go sideways very quickly, because they have a lot of ground to make up as somebody for whom we have given zero money as consumers to people that we allow to handle our credit cards, and beyond just any kind of security issues that we might have for them getting hacked and not knowing how to deal with that. It's exactly what you said, Scott. They have this whole chain that they need to protect, and it's going to be on their end to do it.
Because they've got two brands of loyalty, or two forms of brand loyalty, rather, that they have to protect. Their own, which is, we don't want to go down this road of, well, all Twitter does all day is try to get me to buy stuff, and this is a horrible experience. So they got to be careful of that. But you're right, that supply chain has to be solid. It has to be trustworthy. And the only way to do that, I guess, is to start with some of the most trustworthy names possible. But I look at this list of who they're working with so far, other than, say, these nonprofits like GLAAD, Donors Choose, and so on, the Red nonprofit. Those are things we're sort of used to. But, Gumroad, the fancy Music Today, I never buy from any of them. And it's not that I don't. Maybe they're great, but they just seem like a little hipstery, highfalutin to me, and maybe I just want to get a nice piece of something from somebody on the street, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't think that anybody wants to know what you're talking about when you somebody on the street. But Home Depot, that's something that, listen, you're a father of three, Home Depot. That's a very dad place to shop on Twitter.
Well, sure, and and I understand their need to do two things here. One is mobile. I think mobile is much more conducive to impulse buying. So I'm going to see a thing, it's in my feed, I'm going to hit that quick little button where my thumb is, and we're off to the races. So I kind of understand why they're starting with mobile, with desktop coming later. I also understand why they're starting slow and doing a very careful rollout and starting with what they consider to be very carefully chosen vendors and so on. But if this is the list for a while, there's very little I'm interested in any of what these supposed vendors would have, and let alone if I see something from, the next time I see a link from Twitter where they're actually getting me to try to do this, the first thing in my head is going to be, well, who's selling me this turtleneck sweater?
Well, right. I think what they want is to almost go by an item by item level with these retailers. They don't want just to plug into the interface of Target and just let you buy anything off the Target website. They want to sell the Tickle Me Elmo. They want to sell the iPhone 6, and you can buy that immediately when you see it pop up in your Twitter stream. So I feel like that's where, and by the way, those are only the hard things, because they're only going to want to sell the things that have limited quantities and are very, very in demand. That's the sweet spot that they're going to need to be able to trust these people are taking off, because we've seen before, if everybody went and bought that coin,
the credit card replacement thing, the coin app, or the coin.
That coin credit card, that was a huge thing that spread virally on Twitter. It seems like it would be a perfect market for that, the pre-sale, the pre-sales at least. Now you have a lot of unhappy people with coin because they've taken so long to do it, and now it looks like as of tomorrow the product's going to be completely dead in the water. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah. I just feel like if I suddenly get a tweet that says get 40 pounds of 2-ply lumber, well, I'll know who's doing that. Okay.
And a ticket to a country concert.
Yeah, exactly. Now, where this really gets interesting down the road is when, let's say, Justin Robert Young over there tweets, I love this new hat I got that's got antennas on it. And I say, I also like that hat you got. And Twitter's smart enough to go, that hat he got that he mentioned in his tweet, which is naturally in my timeline anyway, is available with one of our vendors, and now there's a buy button, and Scott can impulse buy it because he really likes what Justin had on his head. That's very interesting to me. The flip side of that is this starts to block out a lot of people. So, for example, if I want to get that hat through a very creative, industrious Etsy designer, I'm probably not going to have that option unless they sign specifically with Etsy, and these Etsy stores can all tie into this system and not lose a chunk of their profit either in the process. I worry for small guys. So if I want to put a tweet out, hey guys, I drew a new print today and I'm really proud of it. Check it out, everybody. Will there ever be a day where I can take advantage of this, or will this only be big multi-million-dollar companies?
Twitter wants this to be their AdWords. Twitter wants this to be Scott's got prints. They can come to us. Scott can come to Twitter, blow out his stock of the prints because it'll advertise exactly to the people that want it the most, that will impulse buy it in 2 seconds, and you can solve the problem of having 500 prints be gone in 5 minutes. That's the experience that Twitter wants, and they do want to commoditize that to literally anybody who will pay for it. But like you said, that opens it up for a bunch of jokers to not fulfill their promises, and now people lose faith in the fact that people are buying off Twitter. So it's a double-edged sword.
Well, I'm looking forward to my next PVC pipe / sprinkler combo.
Your next impulse purchase on hardware. Awesome. Lumber. I do want a 2x4, darn it. I totally want that.
Who would have known? It's an interesting point. I mean, it's an interesting play for them, because how long have we been hearing Twitter still doesn't know what they're how they're going to monetize? Or I feel like we've been hearing this since 2007, and now finally there's maybe a way.
The final question on this: are Amazon or eBay worried about their station in life now that Twitter's in the selling things business?
Well, I really
think they should be, because I mean, people are still going to put links to things that they like on Amazon, like Amazon links in their Twitter feeds, and those are still going to be hopefully linkable to affiliate codes and things like that, so that people posting will still get a little bit of a kickback. But people are still going to be linking to other things online.
I agree, and I'm not 100% sure. There's something more, and this is why they have to be really careful, so we'll see how they do it, but there's something more legitimate about Brian saying, I found this really good deal on this album on Bandcamp, and me as his friend clicking through to that, than there is Twitter deciding what I want and putting up a flashy little buy now button that's all integrated into the system. There's something about Twitter that's always sort of set itself above, say, Facebook and other social systems, by saying you get to follow who you want to follow, you get to unfollow who you want to follow. We're not going to curate your feed, except kind of now they're going to start doing that, but some of that anyway. But my point is, we've always felt a little bit more like we can control that domain more than any of our other social networks and our other feeds. Like this announcement would just go ho hum for me on Facebook. So I'd just say, well, they're doing that crap all the time. This is just a new way for them to do that.
Yeah.
This seems like they're taking this thing that I have so much control over and potentially meddling with it. I'm not being negative about it. I actually kind of want to see how this plays out. It may benefit me for all I know. I'm trying to keep an open mind about it. But I think Twitter users are just a little bit more jaded that way, and it'd be a little less pushed around. So they've got to do it right, whatever right means, or people will just ignore it, and they'll keep pasting links to things they already trust and know, and it won't make a ding at all.
But I guess that's for Twitter. It's a win-win, right? Because either people engage the way they want, or they find value in being able to buy right through the tweet. And either way, they're using Twitter.
Yeah. You're on Twitter either way, everybody. Think that one through. And you know who Amazon and eBay need to be more afraid of? I heard on a podcast this morning from NPR, Planet Money, I think it was, Amazon and eBay combined do not sell as much as Alibaba does.
I know. That's crazy.
Yeah. China's going to kill us all.
So let's move on to the calendar, flipping over the page of the calendar here, and let's see what we've got. Oh, have you guys heard that Apple's holding an event in San Francisco tomorrow? You can watch it. Well, the event has been confirmed.
Okay. Yeah. Rumor confirmed.
Cooper confirmed. Not to be that guy.
You can watch that event at live at apple.com/live tomorrow morning. And what is it, 11 Pacific is their usual time? Is that right?
Yeah.
10 a.m. Pacific, I think, isn't it?
Oh, 10 Pacific. I'm sorry, 11 for us in the only time zone.
The only time zone that matters. Yeah, the mountain time zone. Right.
I think I might be in the air for this. I think I might be landing just as it's happening.
That's no good.
So mayhem will be taking place in the airport in which you land. The people throwing papers up in the air, running around screaming, smashing their iPhones on the ground. It'll be chaos when you land.
Oh, by the way, also this is your official. Go ahead and lock in your quote on Gazelle notification. So go ahead on over. This is
yeah.
Thing. But if you're going to sell your iPhone to buy the new iPhone today,
today's a good day. Today is the last day you'll look at your iPhone 5 and say, "Oh, you do everything I want."
You're great. You'll never stop being the best.
Also tomorrow, kind of overshadowed by this, the first white version of the PS4 will be bundled with Destiny, and it's going to hit store shelves concurrently with the sci-fi space shooter. Oh, did we mention the makers of Halo have a new game called Destiny, and you can buy it tomorrow?
Already pre-ordered, man. It's on my thing. It's preloaded. I'm ready to go. Let's freaking
you
jump
bought the
ahead.
digital download, huh?
Yeah,
I'm excited
ready.
for this.
Yeah.
It's another game I can buy and maybe not play. Tomorrow is the start of the 3-day Intel Developers Forum in San Francisco, where I'm sure everyone's going to be very excited to get their hands on that tiny, tiny processor. And mark it on your calendar, Batman Arkham Knight will be released on PC, PS4, and Xbox One June 2nd, 2015. Pre-orders are available now. And finally, on this day in 1966, 48 years ago, the television show Star Trek made its network television debut with the episode The Man Trap. The show only lasted 3 seasons, but reruns in the 70s rebooted the show's popularity, leading to 12 movies, 5 additional television series, not to mention serving as the inspiration for countless technological devices that we use today.
A kid was born the day Star Trek premiered. He is 48 now and worried about his corns. That's what's going on. Think about
Yes,
that.
right.
Corns are still a thing.
His bunions.
A lot of fans of that I've noticed on the internet.
Of the corns, yeah. Oh, Star Trek. Hey, our pick of the day is followmy.tv. Follow my, my.tv, submitted by Anthony Eales, I'm going to say is how you say his name. Followmy.tv helps you track all of your TV shows and in particular what what episode you're up to. So Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, they kind of already do this, but if you are watching on a network or cable television show as well as downloading, you need somewhere to kind of keep track of what episode you're up to. This happens to me even on those services that are supposed to do it right. Sometimes they screw up and start over or whatever. Followmy.tv does it all in one place, with a very handy dashboard, and has all the next to be watched episodes of TV shows that you might be watching. With the power of always knowing which episode you are up to on a TV show, you can plan your own TV schedule with ease. Honorable mention goes to Tracked at Tracked.tv, but I think we prefer FollowMy.tv right now. That's good to see some competition there. Send your picks to feedback at dailytechnewsshow.com, and you can find all of Tom's picks right there as well at dailytechnewsshow.com/picks, isn't it? Is it picks?
Yeah. And just
look, I'm not here to rewrite Tom's book, but I think that's right. Yeah.
In the spirit of our Night Attack Startup Spelling Bee, Tracked is spelled TRAKT.TV, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
And now, messages of the day. Feedback at dailytechnewsshow.com is where they go. Rich from lovely Cleveland, and apparently also the future, writes, Dear Jury, Scott, and Brian, which is amazing that you're on the show.
How do you know?
Thought I would provide a sum up for the Apple announcement tomorrow. So we bring you tomorrow's news today here on Daily Tech News Show. Here's number 1. The camera looks amazing. I love the slide that shows all the lens elements. Number 2. The app demos looks cool. 3. The hardware is impressive but iterative and remains to be seen if the software can leverage the bigger screens. 4. iWatch Tees was cool. Looks like they're really hammering on fitness. 5. iOS 8 improves notifications, but it's nothing Android hasn't been doing for a while. And 6, seriously, the camera is awesome.
He kind of has the make of it, doesn't he? You know?
It's pretty much always, the wrap-up, yeah.
Yeah, pretty close. I mean, it does seem like they've got a lot more up their sleeves this time, and if all the rumors are true that they're going to launch and show more than they have in a very long time for a fall release, maybe there's a little more than this. Maybe there's a 7th or 8th line to this list. Who knows?
Well, I mean, if you are going to take the favorites in the rumor-mongering horse race, you would say the NFC announcement and the announcement of the idea that you buy this phone, you enter in your credit cards once, and then you lock them in a safe and never see your credit cards again would be the things are different today kind of situation. And what is different with Apple doing it than, let's say, all the Android phones that have had NFC for a while is that with Apple and with that buzz comes merchant involvement in it. Comes the widespread, your corner store now has an NFC checkout thing. So that would be the big, I feel like that would be the big headline if all we know right now is what happens, or at least all that is rumored comes to pass tomorrow.
Well, it strikes me. I just got done running a booth at Salt Lake Comic Con here in Salt Lake City, and it went really well, and we had a great time. And one of the things that you kind of forget about in our 2014 conveniences is how rad these little credit card swipers are from companies like Square, and PayPal has one now, and others are doing them. And we used Square there, and you forget how freaking easy it is to swipe somebody's card, take a payment, and send them on their way in just a couple of steps. In a lot of cases, their cards already support automatic email receipts and all kinds of cool ways of these things working. And it's on my phone, a thing I already have. If they can get to a place where a merchant, like say a table at a con, can get a free, preferably kind of like the Square readers, some kind of free device that lets you do this sort of near field stuff or however it's going to work, then that is a giant slam dunk. They need a big company like Apple or Google. If Google would just be the spearhead of this and quit letting Samsung and everybody else do their own thing, if they would come out and say, look, Android's going to have this unified standard, we would be so much further down the road.
Wallet is, right?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. But there's this stuff obviously takes time. Some of the worst things you can do is say, hey, what have we been doing the same for the last 30 years? Let's uproot that and change it all at once. That never happens. So I suspect we finally chipped away at enough of this that we just need a couple of big initiatives with some big standards for this to finally roll over, and I am all for it. I want to walk into a grocery store, I want to buy a bunch of crap, and I want to walk out and have it go bleep and be done. And that day is yet to come, so we'll see.
I love doing that at the Apple Store, where you actually can just take your phone out, scan the UPC of whatever you're buying at the Apple Store, hit a button, and it pays using the credit card you've already got on file. You don't even need to talk to a genius. You walk in, click, walk out with the item.
Yep.
And you're done. It's almost like stealing, except you pay for it.
It feels like it. Totally feels like it.
Thanks to the 4,260 patrons of the Daily Tech News Show. This show exists because you were generous enough to support Tom and let him go on vacation with his wife to Italy. I'm sure they're having a great time while we're slaving away to bring you all the news and analysis that you need. And special thanks to Scott Johnson and Brian Ibbott, my fellow miners in the coal fields of the tech news of today. Thank you guys very, very much. Of course, check out their amazing morning stream, 5 episodes a week, 4 days a week there on the Frog Pants Network.
That's right, frogpants.com. Also special thanks to Justin Robert Young for his excellent work hosting Daily Tech News Show these past 2 days. Justin returns to his regular scheduled programming pants, we'll put it that way, as co-host of Night Attack with Brian Brushwood, which you can always find at nightattack.tv. Or what's the other place they should go? Diamondclub.tv.
Yeah, well, Diamond Club, if you want to watch everything live, including this show, you can go to diamondclub.tv.
There you go. Don't forget, you can have a voice in what stories they cover here on the show at their subreddit, dailytechnewsshow.reddit.com. Email us feedback at dailytechnewsshow.com. Call in at 512-59-DAILY. That's 593-2459. And listen to the live show at mobile.alphageekradio.com. Friends of ours as well. Visit the website, Daily Tech News Show. Back tomorrow, myself, Veronica Belmont, and Allison Sheridan for Apple Day. Are you ready for some really, really bad coverage of how the Apple thing went? Well, gosh dang it. It's going to be rad. Actually, I shouldn't say that because those two are amazing, and I'll be in very good company. So I'm glad to be back then. And wherever other news foolish enough to happen is on the September 9th, we'll see you guys then.
Studios Network. For more information about this and other shows, visit frogpants.com. Audio program so good, it's like you're there.
Well played, gentlemen. Well played.
You.
I don't know what kicked me off. Google just decided to fart in the middle. I don't know what happened there.
See, and I don't know whether it was because I told you things like that sometimes happen, or you felt well prepared and knew what to do.
It was good that we had a plan for it, so thank you.
Yeah.
Jeannie, I'm glad you took credit for that. So,
I try. I do my level best.
Brent, blame it on you.
All right, so thank you so much. All right, and I will see Scott tomorrow, and I will be receiving an audio file from Justin
You will.
at some point in the nearest of futures, and I
Yeah.
will also check and see what mine picked up. And Brian Ibbott, thank you so
Oh,
much
my pleasure.
for all of this. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you so much
Fantastic.
for letting me play in the sandbox.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Pick a show title. Hey ho.
I really like Bye Bye Birdie. B-U-I.
See, there's
Mhm.
only one problem with Bye Bye Birdie, and it's not a problem if you don't think it's a problem. But Newsweek got to it first.
Oh.
I always check them. But that being said,
How about we use the title FU Newsweek?
Newsweek, do you still exist? Question mark. So that's one option.
Wait,
And
they,
then,
they were the ones that terrorized that old man in LA by calling him the Bitcoin guy, right?
yep,
That's right.
yep.
Jerks.
And the only other one I saw that I didn't think was nicked yet was Impulse Tweet, which is not terrible. It's not quite as great as Bye Bye Birdie, but
I also like Fire Sale. Fire Sale's good.
yeah.
Yeah, fire
Yeah.
sale's all right.
Fire sales good,
Yeah.
yep.
A
All right.
buck. What are they doing?
All right, well,
about
that sounds like a
devaluing it,
consensus to me. Fire sale it is as soon as I get to publishing, and everybody have a little patience with the publishing because I'll be receiving the file from elsewhere today.
Gene, did you need me to hang around for a bit
Yes,
to talk
please.
about tomorrow?
Yes,
Okay.
please. So in this order, I'm about to stop the live broadcast. Goodbye.